Yeah, I put March 23rd, 2017. What a dumbass. Make sure I can hear this. Yeah, I put March 23rd, 2017. What a dumbass. Hey, can you go chew your bone somewhere else, you little psycho? Thank you. Go on. Hey, is my excuse me? Does my audio sound double to you guys? Like, does it sound a little wonky? A little wonky. What's up, Ho? Hey, can you go chew your bone somewhere else, you little psycho? Yeah, that sounds all fucking weird, doesn't it? Um. Hmm. Let me try something. Yes. Yes. Yo, go chill out. Quit clicking everywhere. Put these fucking weird looking things on. 1 minute. Okay. Now can you hear me better? Is that some badass shit or what? I think we got it fixed. Yes. Alright, cool. Let's get this shitty ass motherfucker. I don't know why it does that. Um. Bart, go ahead and throw this one into the Telegram. I'll make the video public. They deserve a bone every once in a while. I don't give them enough love. Cool. Let me log into my thing. Oh, ICX, you beautiful girl. Make sure we get some more people in here real quick. 8 people watching now. I give you guys a little update on my mama. Today was her last day of chemo. She got to do a detox now, and things are looking good. So, 18 weeks of a chemo regimen. It's not easy on anybody, but she's one tough cookie. So, we're all very happy. We're all very excited. Just got back from grabbing a bite to eat with her and my dad and my brother, and um, something to celebrate. So definitely something to celebrate. When you get the news for the first time, it's terrifying. But luckily they caught it when she was stage 2, and it was still local. It was like a football-sized mass, and by football I mean American football. In her abdomen, grew like super quick. So super fortunate that it was that big. There was a second mass growing beside it, but it was still localized and it hadn't spread yet, so they caught it just in time. Luckily, my wife works for one of the best hospitals in the world, one of the second best cancer center rated in the world. It's just right in our backyard, so she was able to get her in immediately with a top-notch surgeon. So got lucky. All right. We got 14 in here. We're going to give it a couple more minutes. I guess I'll go make some coffee and close the door, text my wife, tell her I'm doing a stream while we get a couple more people in here. If you guys have questions, type it in the chat on coins that you want to get charted. We need to do a thorough market analysis. So for the next hour and a half or so, I'm yours. So I'm going to go make some coffee real quick, and then while we're waiting for a couple more people, give me 2 minutes, and I will be back. I did a dude on the YouTube. I never know such a cool dude. I keep it so fly. Do you know why? No other than violet food. Do. All right. Have you been Bartuna? Have you been bitmexing? Yeah, Bartuna. Have you been bitmexing? Let me text wifey. Yo, what up, girl? We is. Oh wow. The Nasdaq is down another 2.43%. Try to tell everybody. It's hanging. 401ks were hanging off a cliff. Hey, sexy thing. I'm streaming. So be quiet when you come home. Please. I love you so much. It puts a tingle in my tummy. She hates me. Alright, guys. Let's do the damn thing. Can you please have a look at Sumo and Lux? Yeah, let me get it. My little notepad. Okay, let's get rolling, guys. Let's do this damn thing. We are going to start with ICX, with Icon. For obvious reasons, because it's leading the way. On the one-day chart, I was looking at this yesterday, and I almost put a just an update out to. I'll go ahead and delete this now because it's not coming back there. Put an update out to the crew in the private group that I like that the one day, and let me expand this here. I like that the one-day chart closed above this 50 moving average, right? And I'll just delete this because we don't have anything yet. That it closed above this 50 moving average. We have the 20 EMA facing straight upwards almost, which is really nice. We want enough buying pressure here to continue this, and it'll take a little bit of time. It'll take a few days at least. However, it closed above that, and then if it can stay above the 50 and hopefully have a green day above to really confirm it above 44,000 sats. I'm sorry, above 41,300 sats. Let's see what the close was. All right, so 41,300 exactly. If we can close above that, that would be fantastic. It is an hour and 38 minutes until closing time. So we're getting close. I would like for this daily candle to not look like so much of a doji candle. So not big wicks on each side and then kind of a thinner candle. And the thinner it is, the more indecision in the market. However, a green candle additionally closed that has closed above the 50 is a confirmation candle, and that's good. From here, if we zoom out, you got pretty much denied by the 0.5. That's normal. At the very least, reversals of the 786 are supposed to go to the 382, so we're looking at 58,700 sats in the short term. If we go to the 4 hour, the 4 hour 200 moving average, I would bet that it would come down and try to test this. I told you guys to rebuy Icon at the 4 hour 20 EMA if you wanted to get back in, and it touched it and took off. So I hope you had orders tracking there. I mean, was that a perfect buy or what? You would have bought at 36,700 ish, and it's up, and it got up to 47,000. I mean, we're 25-30%. The one thing that you do want to take a look for, and this can pierce this, it really can. It's a very vertical trend line. That's fine. See how it attaches attacks that trend line when it comes up to it. I bet it'll bounce the first time, but we'll see. That might not be a sustainable trend line. We could have some consolidation here before our next move up. Let's look at the 1 hour. Because this has been a crazy move. It's on the 1 hour 20 EMA. I wouldn't expect a bounce here, to be honest with you. On the 1 hour 20 EMA, I would start playing this on the 4 hour chart because we entered on the 4 hour chart. And this is a longer move for us, so short-term price movements shouldn't freak you out too much to begin. But look at that. We almost got a 1 hour cross the 20 downwards to the 50, and it didn't quite do it, which is really sweet. And let's see, just for you guys to know where this bounced from on the fib. Okay, it did one candle close below the 236 and immediately recovered above it. That's a fake out. You gotta love it. But yeah, keep tracking this to the 4 hour 20 EMA again. And it should respect it. Let's go back at the 1 day again. We got a long way to go. So if I were to drag this down, and let's delete this and look for some targets for the next market cycle. What am I doing? We'll do it from the bottom of the chart to the top of the chart because that was one market cycle, and that's all we have to go off of. I would expect it to get somewhere around the 2.2722618 at least areas. So 200,000 sats, 231,000 sats. At today's current valuation of Bitcoin, that would be about a 5x from here. We're looking at that point around $17, $18. Can you guys see me okay? About $17 to $18. And then blow off tops, if we were to add to these fib levels here, this would be your 10x territory. I mean, shit, from where we entered, guys, this 2.618 would be our 10x, almost. It'd be like 9x, right? So one thing that I would advise you guys to do on Icon is watch yourself selling to get a better entry, because you're not going to find a better entry than the one that we got, right? So waiting patiently for a while on a boring ass move, like, okay, this is trickling down, when's it going to happen? And then it finally does, and it gets emotional. And if we look back at it on the 4-hour, it's brutal because it just feels like it's never going to turn. And then it starts going, okay, well, we've had some of this trickling down, but then it just starts going straight down and then recovers right above that 236 line. Or it was the 786 line around 24,000 sats. It's a little brutal, but now we're in the clear. So look for consolidation patterns on the shorter term time frames. I would look to just play to get in at the 4-hour 20 EMA. Right now, if this just continue up here and hold, the 50 EMA is going to cross the 200, and then we'll have the 2050 above the 200, like we like on the 4-hour. And that is a bullish trend, this is already a bullish reversal, because we've cleared, we reversed at the 236 of the next market cycle, and we're above the 382. So one thing that I would like to look like we're completely visually out of this ditch and on these new market cycles, I like to take some horizontal support or resistances. It would be kind of this area here at like 54,000 sats. This is a pretty clear ditch we'd want to get out of. But no, we're looking good, guys. And I truly believe the next market cycle started. South Korea can now begin to buy Icon. I believe BitThumb is going to be launching it, if not today, soon. And there's a lot of bullish news in the works. And, they still have to let everybody know about the staking and all that jazz. So there's still bullish news to come out. And I love the project. So I'm going to continue holding. BTC's next. So let's look at a Bitcoin. And I'll look at I want to look at the 1 day first. Oh, she's just getting rejected by the 20 EMA on the 1 day and the 200. I mean, we got the 20 crossing down the 200. It's not good. The 50 hasn't crossed down the 200 yet. Okay, and that's what a lot of people would call the death cross in this situation. But she got rejected at the 200 moving average. Now is getting rejected at the 20 EMA. But this looks like a bullish hammer reversal setting up here. So if it can close like this, or maybe even go green. And the 618 reverses the 786 here of the current move would go to the 382 9,500-ish. And then if it would dip that back down to test this 0.5 fib line of the current move, with a wick, we could have a inverse head and shoulders, but I wouldn't like that because it would be back below the 200 moving average. If we can just get above it, I want to stay there. But all in due time. Some sideways movement around this zone to, right at or above the 200 moving average to pull these shorter term moving averages up through it. Wouldn't be a bad thing. But the market needs decision. The big thing that you guys need to see here, and let me delete these short-term fibs. These are the fibs that I have just from the top to the bottom. And it's getting, everything's at this 236 fib that's getting denied at, right? The 20 and the 200 and all that, which stinks. But the 200 is kind of slanting up still. So there is hope. The big thing here, though, that we need to watch out is that we could come up here and come to the 382 fib, get denied, come back to the 236 normal move. But at that point, it's starting to look like, and even right now, it's starting to look like high time frame. Let me move this to pink. To pank. Kind of a wedge, an ascending wedge, kind of. It's not too vertical. Maybe a symmetrical triangle, which isn't necessarily bullish or bearish, but it looks more wedgy. We could move right through this and then make a decision in June, guys. That's the thing you have to understand is that we could go sideways for a long time here. And when I say that alts are back when Bitcoin goes sideways, this is what I'm talking about. It holds this trend line. We go to the top of the channel. We jump fib levels. We're going sideways. It's pretty clear. And then things start to tighten up. And that would tell you that a move is coming. Is it going to be down or up? I don't know. We'll see. But this is kind of our alts are back funnel here, our alts are back wedge. It could die after this, but that gives us until, June, July. Even, let's see when these would actually touch. It'd be much later in the year. July, I believe. No, August. That would give us into the beginning of August for alts to do their thing. And the good thing with this is that if it wants to respect it, third touches of trend lines can be really messy, break below and then come back up and fool everybody. Very often they're not the ones that decide where the market's going. So you have like a break below and then come back up to test it and you come back down, and the fourth touch is where you start to get scared, but like a fourth touch could come in June. So we should be praying that Bitcoin does this, not freaks out and goes out of its mind. We should be praying for Bitcoin to go fucking psycho later in the year, but not now, because that gives alts time to just rampage. Because Bitcoin isn't in the $15,000 to $17,000 range where Satoshi evaluations of altcoins are suppressed because of the dollar value of Bitcoin. This is a good level area for Bitcoin to go sideways for a while. Just compress for another move, and give alts time to play, if that makes sense. So if we zoom out and we go to the 4 hour, zoom in, we could have this, like I said before. Whoops. And if this wants to go sideways here, preferably, this is you would want to say that this is starting to look like some sort of a bull flag. And if it breaks this line, or even we'll say a bull flag, give me a little bit of market structure here. And get on top of the 20 EMA. Or if it can settle on top of the 20 EMA here, guys, we're looking at returning to the 200 moving average, 9,700 on a wick. Maybe close below on the 1 day, down around that 9,500 area I was talking about. What's the volume look like? Yeah. But I think we're in somewhat of a safe zone-ish. And I better watch my words on that. But, you know, we bounced right off the 4-hour 50. We held it. Hi. How was your day? You want to come say hi to everybody? Okay, then don't worry about it. Do you want to come say hi to everybody? I'm charting Bitcoin right now. Come say hi. Hi.
Hello.
What's your favorite coin today? Icon? Bitcoin?
Icon.
Okay. Hey, that's what I like.
Sure.
Right here. All right, get the hell out of here.
Come on, Birdie.
Love you.
Love you.
That was Miss Noah's Ark. Mrs. Noah's Ark. She's locking me in here. Okay, so it's looking a little bull flaggy. I like that. If you guys wanted to enter along here, let me look at the 1 hour. We need to see how this 4 hour candle closes. It looks good, but it could drop below and close below. If you guys wanted to enter along at the... It's tough. What's our fib say? So I want to see what the price action of this current little move is, right? So, okay. We couldn't hold the 236. That's your immediate bounce continuation area, and the 20 EMA was there. We came down to the 382, bounced almost perfectly. I mean, literally perfectly. Came back up, was denied by the 236. Okay, we're going to play this game. Now, the next candle, which is also being denied at the 20 EMA. We closed above but couldn't confirm it on this candle. Fell back down, was caught by the 50 before it could get down to the 0.5. Went sideways, tried to hold it. This candle is freaking interesting, right? Because we dropped down really low and then closed back up and even turned it green. Yeah, we need to see more price action on this if we want to enter along. But if this closes above the 236 or even the 20 EMA, guys, on an additional 4 hour candle, you'd be fine to spec buy some of that. So not a lot to do here. I think alts are the better plays than Bitcoin at the moment, but you do have to get Bitcoin to get alts. So if we can get on top of this 20 EMA and close there with an additional candle, preferably that additional candle being above the 236, I'd be willing to buy. Now, looking at future market structure, keep this bull flag on there, and it's kind of an ascending growth channel. I don't like to play it. Some people do this and call it a rising wedge. I don't like these as much. Because that was before this bounce started, right? So we're looking at the price action since the bounce. I'm not fibbing this, right? I'm not fibbing this drop from down to here. So why is that really relevant to me since before the bounce? I don't think it is. And the only thing that you would say is, okay, well, we had this bear flag. I mean, to me, you would have to draw that if you're going to draw from this peak. So I like to ignore that and just draw it from the bounce zone and go first wick to second wick. It looks like we kind of have a ascending growth channel there. We'll see. it's going to need to go sideways and do some dirty work at the 200 moving average. But if it can get above that and close, and we'll be having a good time. So nothing to do right now. I'd wait. She was coached. No, with the Fudge Packers gear. You bet your ass. Is my video frozen? No, I just look like a dweeb. All right. What's next? Let's look at Litcoin. Oh my God. Everything's looking, it's like it's setting. I mean, this looks like a inverse head and shoulders pattern if I've ever seen one, folks. Left shoulder, right shoulder, head. Neckline. So, Litecoin keeps messing with this downtrend line for the longest time. We'll redraw this support line here. Make it green so it matches. Bounce at the 3.8 at the 0.5 fib. So the bounce can continue. 0.5 fib is your immediate move line in the sand, guys. For immediate moves, if they're going to continue, the 0.5 fib is your line in the sand. The 236 is the immediate. The 382 is, shit's going to get a little messy. The 0.5 fib is, from bottom to top, is your, is this going to continue, or are we going to have some blood here? Look at this. Third touch of the trend line. False break below, shot right back up, like I was saying with Bitcoin. One, two, third touch of the trend line. False break above, shot back below. Ooh, fake out again. Love to see this 4-hour candle confirm. We had one right at it. I'm not going to call that it counts. This one closed above, but it was below the 20 EMA on the 4-hour. This one closed, or this one's trying to close above the 20 EMA, and I would love it if it could get above. Let me make sure this fib is drawn correctly. All right, it's like trying so hard to get above this fib line. Which fib is that? That is the 236. Nice. And better yet, we would want to draw this from the swing lows to the swing highs. So it bounced at the 236. If I were to draw this in reverse, it'd be the 786. Tells you that it would want to go to the 382, which in this case would be the 786, which is right around 220. Wouldn't surprise me. But this inverse head and shoulders pattern on the 4-hour could be setting up an additional inverse head and shoulders pattern where this is the left shoulder, this is the head. It peaks up, comes back down. This is the right shoulder, and then we have the world's greatest inverse head and shoulder with an inverse head and shoulder. Mind blown. On this break, if this candle closes above, guys, this would be a buy signal for me. Up to this neckline. 175, so 164 up to 175. Maybe just this fib line 176. But I would probably put a stop at break even and try to ride it, because as this would peak up, the 20 EMA would come up with it, and then your stop zone right around here would be under the 20 EMA. So I want to catch these larger moves if they're going to come. So I'm much more likely to put a break-even stop on than I am to take my profits now. Because alts are looking like they're waking up, and Litecoin, for all of its love and glory, is an altcoin. So if it closes above 163.70 on this 4-hour candle, if Litecoin closes above 163.70 on this 4-hour candle, which also represents the 20 EMA on the 4-hour, I will be entering a position for a swing up to at least the 175-ish area with a break-even stop on the way. I will update on prices and the price targets when we get there. And this is just short-term movement, guys. I mean, if it closes above this 20 and the 20 is above the 50, it tells you that price wants to return to the mean, which would be the 200 moving average. And at that point, it should be somewhere around $189, $190. Try to get this swinging back up again. It's pointed down right now, which I don't like. But Litecoin looks really good. It's got a nice base of a trend line here, if I were to draw that. And if we were to take the short-term fibs off and just play this since the all-time high fib to the swing lows around $100, it's being denied right now at the 236. If it can get above this 236 and close around 175, at that point, as I said, we'll have some work to be done around the 200 moving average. We can let it ping pong around in that area until it decides, and then buy on a breakout retest for our really long positions. But Litecoin actually looks pretty good. So let's look at Neo. Neo, you little bastard. It's not as bullish as everything else. However, this looks like a 4-hour bull flag. What does the 1 hour tell us? Yeah, that looks like a consolidation pattern, number one. This does. I mean, on 15-minute, I bet that looks, yeah. Flagpole, break above, so on a measured move. Up to 71. One, two, third touch of the trend line, break below. What do you know? Just want to bullpen it. So the $71 area, is there anything there? 74 would be so from $0, the all-time chart, that'd be the 0.618. And this is a trend based. Go back and test it. Got them out at the 0.5, so this fibs are this trend based fib lines up almost perfectly every fib line. That's incredible. This is a very confluence. This chart is confluence heavy. And then within that move, that trend line That would be our third touch of the trend line. Right there. If we zoom out. This would involve it getting over these 20 and 50 moving averages. I think it's at 67.20 right now. It's not much of a move. So I'd probably be more inclined to wait for a breakout of this market structure that confirms. Not a lot to do right now. I'm more apt to get stopped out with Neo because it's just dicking off. Yeah, I mean, this would look like, this kind of looks like a bull flag. But it's below its moving averages, so, I mean, what's the one day tell us? It's right at the 200 moving average. With a bullish hammer. What do they call this? 3 black crows or something like that? 3 black crows. Candlestick. This isn't it because that's a, those are full body. This is a bullish hammer. Doesn't have the longest, bottom line is you want this to close above the 200 moving average on the 1 day. And really, I would just start playing this on the 1 day chart. Hmm. 200 moving average is 67.08. The 1 day chart looks a lot better than the other charts. So here's what I'm going to do. I know I sold mine earlier, but I'm being extra cautious with it. Okay, here is the deal with Neo. The 1 day chart presents a speculative buying opportunity. Isn't that what all of these are? If in the next hour, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Neo closes above the 200 moving average on the 1 day at 67.1 or higher, I will be entering another position. This current daily candle looks like a bullish hammer, but is not a definite, but is not a world-class BH because its wick is not 3 times longer than the length of the body. If it closes above the 1 day 200 moving average as stated before, I will buy and will hold with a 1 day stop below the 0.86 fib at 64.96. Okay, it's taken care of. What else we got? We do. I need to do that's. It's not the 3-block close, but yeah, we need to do a tutorial, guys, on the fibs. I get it. I know I need to. All right, let's look at some coins. Let's look at Aeon. 1 day, it's coming up to trying to bounce on this 50 moving average. 4 hour. Let's drop below. Really, it just comes down to this resistance right here. It looks messy. You could try to pick some up at 30,000 sats, 29,000 at the 200 moving average on the 4 hours, so 30,000 sats, right above there. Right above there, 29,000. I call it 30,000. That's psychological resistance. Try to pick some up there. So how would I fib this? As Kip on Napoleon Dynamite says, easy. Fib the current move, which is also the all-time lows from the low, to the current move at the top. It's bouncing at the 0.5 fib. You could buy some here if you wanted to. The thing with buying it at the 200 moving average, around 29,700 sats, is the 0.618 fib. 30,000 is that reversal of the 618. Typically want to go to the 382. That'd be about 8%, 9%. From there, I don't know. Put a stop at break even or below the 200 moving average. Try to ride the trend. This 200 moving average is flattening. I wouldn't be surprised if price wants to return to it. Not a ton to do. But if we want to look at the bigger picture, I need to do one thing here. Lows to the all-time highs, because that's going to give us bounce spots as it retraces back. Okay, I'm looking for retrace buy spots. And it got ugly on this one, man. It really did. It's kind of weird. But that wick, whoo. So let this keep going, man. I'm not selling this. Really, I'm not. You could put it below the 200 moving average on the 4 hour if you needed to on a 2 4-hour closes. That would be, I guess, your stop. But I'm not selling Aeon. I know it's a great project. And it's near the lows here, so I just wouldn't. If you were to pick some up, I'd do it. Try to get at this right now, being the 0.5 fib of the current move. It's like right there. You could pick up some here, and then try to pick up some at the 200 movie, like 30,000 sats. It's a key resist support. I don't think it really matters. You could probably get it 29,000 500, 700 sats. But yeah, so I have my bigger picture market structure from the lows to the highs of the previous market cycle. Tells me where I want to look for entry points for the next market cycle as it retraces. And then just of the current move would be where I draw the fibs on this one. And look, I'm not going to draw it on this wick up there because that's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't give me enough accurate data. That's arbitrary by me, but I'm not going to. So you have your buy zones for Aeon. Let's go to Wabi. The Wabi was looking good, I believe. Bounce on the 886. Look at that. So, I mean, look, guys, I drew it. You can, there we go. Gosh, let me lock this. How do you lock your price scale? Stop it. All right, my 1, I started here, and then drew it to the all-time highs. And then from there, you have to manually in TradingView go on your fibs and then go to here and manually delete something and add an 886 fib down. But thing that I like here is no matter how you draw this, it broke the downtrend line. There. We want to draw from here. And now we're kind of getting a rounded bottom going sideways. On the 4-hour, it's right on top of the 20 EMA. This would be a buy spot, at least for a flip up to the 200, so 11,900, at least. But I would try to hold with a 4-hour stop below 9. Just call it 9,000 sats, because I want to get on these next market cycle plays. But this isn't a bad buy spot here for Wabi, guys. It's right on top of it. Bounced up to 886. And I mean, it shot below, but it came right back up. Okay, whatever. Was there any volume on this one? Nice little volume candle there. Probably not much. Okay, wow. It is. So, looking at this volume, there's 2 ways to look at this. Okay, this was your volume spike right when it hit the exchange. Everybody's excited. Oh my God, Wabi's the next big thing. And then this horizontal resistance as well. This doesn't really tell you much. You wanted to try to find a downtrend line, but you couldn't really find one. So this will give you a horizontal resistance, and that broke it. So we could have a bullish reversal coming in here. It looks like it. And this is a buy spot on top of the 20 EMA. So yeah, give it a whirl. See where it can take you. Stops will be below, I'd say 9,000 sats on a 4-hour close. Let's look at strat. Oh, what a call by your boy. My God. I can't figure out if I want to scratch my own back here. I can't figure out if this is a better call or this or EOS. Who cares? On 224, I wrote to myself, 886 on the 1-day long-term trend line is where I will try to pick some strat up for a hold until the next pump cycle. And you bet your ass. Huh. Put a stop below the lows here a bit, or guys. I called you babe, what the fuck? Below. I'd give it back. I really would. I just would. I would give this back. I don't think it's going to come back down below 46,000. Put it below 46,000 sats on a 1-day close. I don't think it's coming back. I really don't. If you want to sell some of your position here to lower your entry, like this is what they call active trade management. If you're up here and you buy right on this trend line at 48,500, okay, we'll call it 49,000 sats, and it is up at 57,000 600 sats right now. 21% gain. If you wanted to sell 25% of your position to lower your entry from, I'm sorry, that was 48,000. Okay, so what? It's probably like an 18% gain. If you want to sell like 25% of your position here to lower your entry price down to where you'd be protected at a break even at the stop zone, 4-hour close below the lows here. So 4-hour close below 46,000 sats. We'll just call it that, yeah. If you wanted to sell 25% of your position to, if you're up 18% ish, that would give you 19% ish. That would give you we'll call it 4.5%. If you sold a quarter of your position, you'd be taking 4.5% profit off the table, put it in your pocket, and then putting a stop at break even. You would be closed out in profit there. So like 2% profit. Just off the top of my head. And then you give yourself a chance to capture this from here, at least up to something around here. I think that'd be a great idea. So let's look at EOS. EOS. Whew, that measured move. Oh, baby. Oh, my back's itchy. You would have gotten it here at 56,000 sats. It's currently at 79,000 sats. 41.8% profit. So you can sell 25% of your position here. Put a stop on a one-day close below the 618. That's a key fib zone here, because then you could just catch it at 786 at 55,000 sats. Lock in at least 10%, 9% profit, and see where this goes. I mean, technically, I hate wicks like this. Just fuck everything up. That would be your resistance. But in the meantime, our downtrend resistance was crushed and then held. You want to see it get on top of this 50. Moving average is on top of the 20 right now. So let's delete this. Let's extend this over and go down to the 4-hour. You can try to catch this to get on the 4-hour 20 moving average. But I would think that this would need to come back to reset from the lows to the current highs. 74,450 would be the 236. But try to catch it on this 200 if you can in the 4-hour. So 71,500 sats as well to try to build a consolidation pattern here. But it's respecting the 20 right now. I mean, it has been. If this 20 wants to start flattening out, that could tell you that price wants to come back a little bit before it makes this next move. You could probably catch the 200, maybe at this 382 fib level, 70,000 sats, right around there. So if you were trying to get into EOS, I would try to scale into position around. I'd buy 20% of my antenna position, around 75,000 sats, 75,100 sats on the 20 EMA on the 4-hour. And then sprinkle some between 70,000 and 72,000 sats, the rest of my antenna position. And then if you needed a place to average down, it'd be the 0.5 fib of the current move, 66,000. There's a time for quick flips, and there's a time to position yourself for next alt season. Like I said before, if Bitcoin wants to go sideways in that gigantic, whatever you want to call it, consolidation pattern for a few months, that gives alts time to just fucking fly, because we have some level of certainty of what the floor is, and the ceiling isn't being raised every day with a crazy pump. So those are some areas to try to get in, to add to your positions in EOS or get in. Let's look at Ethereum. If you go to the 1 day, it's pretty clearly a falling wedge. And if we put this in a log scale, it probably looks like a, well, it's different looking, but oh my god. Oh, this is what I was telling you guys about yesterday on the Ethereum chart. It brought it down to $13 from 360 on one daily candle because somebody dumped a ton of them from the Genesis block, takeoff log. But yeah, so we had kind of a false break here. Return keeps getting denied there. I draw it from the first peak to the second, guys, in my diagonal resistance line inside kind of this pennant, or falling wedge, excuse me, because it clearly got denied here, also by the 20 EMA. So if I were to draw a fib here, you could do it from the end of the last market cycle to this one. It's right at the 786 fib line. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. And if ETH busts out here, it's the start of alt season. Period. Because if this busts out and Bitcoin wants to go sideways, let's get ETH BTC to check. Yeah, guys, ETH BTC is at 21 on the 1 day RSI. That's not sustainable. The only thing is that with these RSIs, you know, before they start to reverse, you start to get divergence on them. So just with it being at 21 doesn't mean it's done going down yet. I mean, look, if you can get it at the 786 fib around 4.5 million sats, by all means, pile in that cocksucker. So let's do a little tutorial on RSI here. So right here at the end of last market cycle, it was, if you look at this RSI area, this was 24, right? And it was right here, but it bounced just a tiny bit and kept coming down. And you had yourself a bullish divergence, trend reversal. That was your trend line. This was your trend line. before it finally did one last, and this is a market maker's dream right here, or a whale, I guess. Panic and people right the fuck in, and then it took off. And that was our start of bull season. That happened like overnight. So with it being at 21 here, this could absolutely, and this is the only thing that I don't like. I want to see it reverse out of this falling wedge in the U.S. dollar chart. So that's our clue for if it's going to happen right now. That's where they would start. We do an about face right at the 618 line, right at 62,000 sats, 61,000, 6.1 million sats. We do an about face right there. Do a 1 day close below, and then a reversal, something like that, or maybe a couple days. But keep an eye on the USD chart because I think it's going to lead the ETH BTC chart on this one. And it's just how is Ethereum faring versus how is Bitcoin faring. So that's what the ETH BTC chart is. So you'll start looking for clues to start looking at the Ethereum BTC chart by looking at the ETH USD chart because it's in this. It's clearly in this falling wedge. It just is. And it's pretty dramatic. That's a very downward sloping trend line. What does the 3-day tell us? Okay, the 200 moving average is down here at $265 on the 3-day. Man. If you get a chance to buy it there, fucking do it. I want to see how this fares falling out. Or, I mean, it's trying to hold this. So reversals on current moves, okay? This is something I want to show you guys. I always look for this first. Like, on these ridiculous drops. We're trying. It needs to get above this line here. And if it does, that means the current death drop from here is over. And, or at least going to start going sideways. But if it can get out of this falling wedge, I think we'll have an explosive move of the volume. The only thing that's killing ETH right now is all of these regulations people are freaking out about. I think it's really a big deal. I don't. Fuck it. Fuck it and fuck them. We're taking over the world. Watch this falling wedge to break on the USD chart. You could buy some here at the 786. $530 is like the area. Buy some here. And then at the very end of this structure at the 886 of 413 if you could. And that would be a 20%-ish drop. 25-ish percent drop. I'm sorry. And if ETH BTC dropped 25%, okay, that would be a 33, no, it wouldn't. That'd be a 25% drop. 15 goes into 64 times. If it dropped 1.5 million sats from 6.1 million sats, that would be the 786 line here. And then that coincide with the drop from 530 down to 413. So yeah, it's all in the cards here. If you can get it at 413, the end of our market cycle for ETH might be at the 786 line, 4.5 million sats. So there's confluence in the math and in the fib lines. Fib lines are math. That's analysis. Nobody else has given you this analysis. EOS proves it, TA doesn't work. What? EOS proves TA does work. Is Aeon looking head and shouldery after the breakout? Nope. Probably me on like the 1 hour 15. No. Not yet. I'll move up to the 200 moving average on this 15-minute slash No. I don't see it. On the 1 hour, it's fucking up the moving averages, but watch for a break. It's kind of a megaphone down to that fib line. 886. 30,000 sats, no big deal. Give Aeon time to breathe, guys. That's all it needs. And cash. Oh my god! Bounce on the trend line. Told you guys I'd get out if it closed below this trend line, but it didn't. And then on the 1 hour, you could grab it on 400, 398 sats, somewhere around there. If you want to get out of break even or at profit right now, go ahead. But like, there's only one way I would really fib and cash right now. I don't fib it from the top of this. Market makers are fucking assholes, and they just paint that wick from the bottom to the top. Bounced here at the 0.5. Originally bounced right below the 618, but came back above. This trend line, guys, is your baby. Where it kind of looks like a inverse head and shoulders here, with a descending neckline. I think it's gonna pump. I really think this is gonna pump. It looks fucking great. Try to get to the 20 EMA. What's the 4 hour tell us? Yeah, 20's crossed up to 50, 20 up. Moon! And it's one big ascending triangle if I were to draw this resistance here. Oh, okay, Martin, you're joking. Ha 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 ha. Hey, how about that right in? I guess that's why they call it Sin City. People were talking about GVT all damn day. You got a trend line. Here, I'll make it real easy for you. Pick it up here. $382. Everybody's talking about GVT. I haven't had a chance to look into it, so I don't know. All right, I'm gonna cut it. Catch you guys on the flip side. Private group. We're doing great things in there. I'm gonna advertise real quick. We're coming up on the end of the month. I'm gonna have payment details for the private group here soon. I might be changing from Neo to something else. So keep on the lookout if you guys want to join. If you're not in the private group, reach out to me. All right, I'll catch you guys.